Hey, how you doing? I hope you're doing well. So, I finally got around to watching My Adventures with Superman. My Adventures with Superman is good, man. Like, really, really good. I feel like we've been mostly starving for really, really good Superman media, and it fills me with such childlike nostalgia. There's a new Friday morning superhero cartoon that we can gather around and talk about. I thought those days were long gone, like my mental health. Is it perfect to me? No, it doesn't reinvent the super wheel. I hate the villain designs, everything being Kryptonian tech. I hate how Slade is here for no reason, Waller, Task Force X, all that stuff is just so overdone right now. Like, the idea of a Deathstroke movie a decade ago was dope, but now I could go the rest of my life without ever seeing him be adapted again. Same goes for the Suicide Squad, Waller, pretty much all the slick military elements storytellers feel the need to put into superhero stories. Who needs any of that in this show when you could just play War Thunder, the sponsor of today's Ramble? War Thunder is a free-to-play epic multiplayer game about confrontation between ground vehicles, aircraft, and naval vessels. Don't matter what you play on because it's available on your PC, Xbox, PlayStation, and Mac. War Thunder has advanced graphics and physics. All the mud, dirt, and dust will stick to your armored vehicles with a realistic elegance and come off in water and fire with grace. They also have a wide variety of customization, unique skins for your unique vehicles. There are various camouflages, decals, and decorative elements to make the game truly your own. War Thunder's latest update, Sons of Attila, added even more excitement to the game. An entire family of super unique Hungarian ground vehicles, plus new updates like a voice warning system like those in Modern Fighters, has been added to aerial battles for an even more engaging experience, as well as improved graphics and dynamic visual effects that change in different lighting. Download War Thunder for free by using the link in my description. All new players and those who haven't played for half a year or more will receive a shitload of special bonuses, man. Rentals for the P-40E1 aircraft and M4 tank for a week, along with free unique skins for them. A special decorator Eagle of Valor, 100,000 Silver Lions, 3 premium vehicles for free, a week of premium account, and even more gifts. Hurry up. The American Vehicle bonus season will end soon. Thanks, guys. Anyways, all gripes aside, when it comes to My Adventures with Superman, I haven't been this excited about an animated superhero cartoon since the early days of Young Justice. None of my gripes take away or gets in the way of what I truly believe is a wonderful Superman adaptation. My Adventures with Superman understands Clark Kent. It doesn't try to change him, doesn't try to make him more relatable, more modern, it doesn't try to make him cool. The show knows that Clark is very uncool. If anything, I'm not sure we have ever gotten a Superman adaptation where he never ever wants to fight, wants to use his powers to harm. He actively avoids violence unless it's to protect the people he loves. He doesn't seek out the fight. Violence is always a last resort. I fucking adore that. Even the Timverse Superman, who will always have a special place in my heart, suffered because it felt as if the storytellers needed to justify the character's place in their animated universe. Superman is necessary because he is the strongest. Superman is necessary because he is the only one who can stop alien invaders and new gods. Superman is necessary because he's the ultimate badass, always holding back his full power. Justify the character's value to all the kids watching who love Batman because he, like we, feels so much pain but think kindness is lame. Superman isn't lame because he believes the opposite. He believes that maybe you can make the world a better place just by being kind to your fellow man. There is no justification needed for that. Kindness will always be necessary. My Adventures with Superman fully embodies that belief. If you hadn't had the time to watch it yet, please do so. If you hate it, you can beat me up and call me a dork. So, I finally got around to watching Season 3 of Superman and Lois. Superman and Lois Season 3 is good. Like, really, really good. I wasn't a big fan of Season 2. It had the CW Season 2 problem. Too many supporting characters across too many episodes that all have separate struggles and plot lines without communicating with one another, causing forced drama that is hard for us to believe in or feel connected to. I stopped watching about halfway through, but I heard they turned things around this year. Dude. Why the fuck is nobody acknowledging that both Season 1 and Season 3 modernize, or rather evolve Superman in a way that is so true to the character, allowing him to be a grown-up, not be a fresh-faced farm boy struggling to fit in, but rather a dad who is trying to figure out the best way to raise and love his children, while also being Superman. The show always looks better than you would believe Superman on TV ever could have. We are numb to most superhero spectacle, but I remember being so excited about this image, leather jackets and all. I thought that was the peak of superhero TV. I literally never thought it would get better than that, and now we are getting stuff like this. Season 3, even while fitting very snugly into the CW drama elements, has writing that is always in service of the characters, in service of making us feel connected to them even when they aren't flying high above us. It's wonderful, truly. But I'm forgetting something, and that something is the reason you probably clicked on the video. What is the key to why most of us respond so well to these takes on Superman? Is it the Boy Scout classical rendition of the character? Is it the belief that we can and will believe in someone who is all-powerful, but more importantly, all good? Yes, yeah, both Superman and Lois and my adventures with Superman trust us enough to not feel the need to remove the red underwear, the wholesome vintage vocabulary, but instead very comfortably make it a point to add those trunks back on top of the Kryptonian battlesuit. Trust us enough to not take away the sincerity, to allow moments of levity and compassion, trusting the ideas that built the superhero instead of forcing him to change for our current time, trusting the character himself to still shine strongly, goofy grin and all. But above all else, throughout all his adaptations, I believe the ones that I connect to the most are the ones where the storytellers realize that the best Superman stories are love stories. Clark Kent loves Lois Lane. Not in the I have a pining desire to be with you, but I'm scared to tell you, or in the we can't be together because it would put you in danger and that's a risk I won't allow you to take kind of way. Every single superhero trope cliche is void when it comes to Clark and Lois. The original comic book lovers, the first damsel who was always able to handle her own distress. In some tales, she ignores Clark because of her infatuation with Superman. In others, she loved Clark long before she knew his greatest secret. But always, no matter how you tell that story, always Clark Kent and Lois Lane continue to have the best romance in all of comics. The writers will never let Peter Parker be truly happy with Mary Jane. His love is defined by loss. Batman can never settle down with Selina Kyle because they both believe that he is incapable of being happy and being Batman. Bruce's idea of love is so corrupted by his belief that being Batman means you cannot love. But throughout all of time, all of comics, comic book movies, Clark has always found a way to love Lois. And every single one of my favorite Superman stories, from Superman 78 to All-Star to Smallville to my adventures with, the stories that have always defined Superman for whatever era, are always that of love. Smallville works not because you took Clark Kent and made him a teenage heartthrob, but because his strongest motivating force was his innocent childlike love for Lana, and eventually his mature, unexpected love of Lois. You never need to make Superman more relatable, because the most relatable human experience, no matter era or age, is feeling the joyous butterflies of falling so deeply for someone. The thunderous, ever-consuming heartbreak if you cannot express, cannot tell your truth, cannot be with that someone. We believed a man could fly in 1978. Witnessing that in the theater for the first time shook the pop culture world in ways that I will never understand. But what makes that movie stand the test of time, what makes that film so special, is the fact that you can strip away every single thing super about Superman, and you are left with a wonderful tale of the intrepid, fiery, and fierce reporter who falls for the ever-optimistic do-gooder. Superman 78 still remains one of the best superhero movies ever made because Richard Donner knew that watching a god walk among men paled in comparison to watching him try to charm the woman who admires him as a savior, but whom he admires even more for being so very human. Margot Kidder owned Lois Lane just as much as Christopher Reeve became Clark Kent. You cannot have one without the other. Their chemistry, like the dance they do in the sky, felt weightless and impossible, perfect and effortless. We feel the same butterflies that the audience back then did, the same butterflies Clark feels for Lois. The moments where you believe a man can fly are the moments where Lois experiences that for the first time. It's not the spectacle of flight, it is the ever-human experience of falling in love. The Superman adaptations that falter, that lose track of that love, are the ones that almost always feel off, and in turn, held to the most scrutiny. Man of Steel had some of its heart set on Lois. The DCEU had the perfect human character to latch onto. Amy Adams is one of the best actors and storytellers in the business right now. Her Lois in that first film is palpable, so lovable, so genuine, with so much room to grow in the newly established world. Grow with Clark. But after Man of Steel, Lois, that love story, is underutilized at every single turn. Clark may realize she is his world. She is the reason that he will always believe in all of us. But we never truly see that or feel it. Lois's character becomes a plot device, a thematic tool, an object of affection, grief, rather than the fleshed out human she needs to be. We are told, we are shown that once she dies, Clark is corrupted, becoming an all-powerful fascist world ender. I only wish more of that screen time was devoted to exploring their relationship, not just the horrifying aftermath. This isn't about comparing takes on Superman. This is about how much more we would have responded to the darkness of Snyder's vision if Amy Adams' Lois was allowed to shine her light. Wasting one of our greatest actors and one of the best characters ever conceived for the sake of Batman, for the sake of world building, for the lack of belief. Superman does not need to be an action movie. Most of our favorite Superman moments, most of the iconic imagery, is when he is at his most peaceful. The irony is not lost on me. Action comics, but his action, all the things he can do, all he could accomplish, means nothing if we are not invested in the reason he continues to protect us in every generation. Superman can be different, he can be sad, he can be existential, but if you do not feel his connection with Lois, you lose his connection to the world. Clark's greatest moment of triumph is never defeating Parasite. It's the moment he can fly in the sky and tell Lois that he loves her.
I love you too.
It's not the fact that he can fly Doomsday to the moon for the ultimate showdown of strength. It's the simple act of holding her hand while she goes through chemo, washing her hair, making her feel love while trying to come to terms with the heartbreaking truth that not even Superman can stop cancer.
I love you, Clark. More than ever.
It's not Brainiac, Zod, Lex, or even death itself.
I love you, Lois Lane. Until the end of time.
It's that. It will always be that. His most stressful moment is not being beaten down by robots, feeling physical pain in ways that he has not before. It's realizing that his girlfriend's father is the one who misunderstands and hates him so apathetically. It's being so uncomfortable with the idea of death that he walks out of a support group. It's turning back time no matter the consequence so that he can spend another moment with the person he loves. Because the reason why Superman works, why his best adaptations work, is the simple statement that an alien, someone who has felt so alone and isolated, is still capable of selfless love. He's a farm boy who is trying to understand himself and desperately trying to belong in a world that is so unwelcoming at times. Our cynicism never stops him from believing that we are worth saving. We are not supposed to be Clark Kent, Kal-El. We are Jimmy Olsen, Lana Lang, Ma and Pa Kent. We are Lois Lane, both her flaws and her will to keep fighting for what she believes in. And if Clark can love Lois, then Superman can love us. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. I wanted to do this video for a bit. Originally it started as a My Adventures with Superman video, and then I was like, yeah, I also want to talk about Superman and Lois Season 3, and then it came to me that the reason why I think we love all these stories, and especially these kind of newer takes on Superman, is the focus on Lois and nailing Lois and understanding that character. I think is always the key to building a beautiful Superman story. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Jason Todd movie trailer out now. Please let me know what you think. Thank you. Bye. Have a lovely, lovely, lovely day.